Hey, this is Joel Nario, and today I'm going to be doing my presentation on the question, what type of pacing strategy should I use? So, upon researching the internet, I found a very interesting article which was related to my research question, and the research article that I found, they wanted to know which of the three pacing strategy was optimal in terms of completing a short distance triathlon, which is a 10-kilometer segment, I think. Yeah, so they had a control group, a 5% slower, 5% faster, and a 10% slower. But before they conducted the actual experiment, they gathered their baseline, they got their blood samples, and they also got their VO2 max. And so what they were instructed to do was, let's say it was time to do the 5% slower, they would they would take their normal usual pace, and then they would slow it down by about 5%, and the same thing as the 5% faster and slower, but except for that one, it would be 5% faster on the first kilometer of the 10-kilometer run. And so what they actually found was that um, for the 5% slower and 10% slower, they actually saw that their mean velocity that they used to maintain was actually very close as when they adjusted their pacing. And another fact that they saw was that during the third kilometer of the run, they saw that the 5% slower pace group, their speed increased by 1 kilometer per hour. And so overall, a key takeaway from this study was that going 5% slower than your usual pace during the first kilometer of the 10-kilometer run would yield to a better performance. Another study that I found that relates to my question is a research done about plantar pressure distribution, where they had these participants and they had them run on a treadmill, either jogging or running, where they measured the contact area, max force, peak pressure, contact time, and the relative load. And so what they found was when you jog, you had less foot pressure, and that excessive mileage when you jog should be avoided, because putting too much pressure on the foot could have potential injury, but more specifically in the metatarsals. So just keep that in mind when you're doing long distance running. In conclusion, when you're doing a short distance triathlon, it is ideal that you go 5% slower than your usual pace during the first kilometer of the 10-kilometer run, and that when doing long distance events, starting off at a running pace would be ideal in order to prevent potential foot injuries that is sustained from plantar pressures. Thank you.